Hello, my name's Valerie Lewis, and I am the director for the Pillars Christian Learning Center here in San Antonio, Texas.
Hi, Valerie. It's awesome to have you here. And Valerie, you joined us at the Summit of Excellence in 2019 in New York City. And before coming to the summit, could you tell us just a little bit about your center? I know that you're part of a big company that has multiple centers. Tell us a little bit about your specific center before joining us at the summit.
So prior to me going to the summit, I joined the Pillars about a year before, and I kind of was trying still to get to know my staff, get my culture going, trying to get organized, and I was having a lot of trouble trying to, how can I say, make time for me and make time for everything that was just dropped on me.
Yeah. And how did that really impact just who you were and your confidence and your ability to lead while you were trying to scramble to do all those things?
Well, at first, I felt like I wasn't doing a great job. I didn't feel the culture was there yet. When I came into the center, I saw that I had a lot of work to do. Felt like the staff wasn't trusting each other. Of course, they didn't trust me. I just came in and they're like, who's this lady coming in? Yeah, who's this girl?
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew that I had a lot of work in front of me to have to conquer. So
yeah.
When we heard about your summit, we felt this is,
Hi, I'm Hani Wolshansky, mama of four and creator of the School of Excellence system. And I'm on a mission to help early childhood leaders build and sustain schools of excellence. So if you want to create a collaborative culture, build efficient systems in your school, and design an environment that can grow your team, then you're in the right place. In the last 15 years that I've been working in the early childhood field, I've become deeply passionate of helping leaders with their mindset, their skills, the tools, and the strategies to build their schools. So each week, I'll share strategies, advice, coaching, and inspiring interviews. I know that you want to create a ripple effect in your school and your life. So let's do this together.
For you, when you were sitting in the room, what was the deciding factor for you to join the inner circle?
I like everybody's confidence. Like, I'm a very, how can I put it? I don't do well talking in front of people or in cameras or whatever, and I needed a confidence boost is what I needed. And that's what I saw at the summit. I was like, I need that. I want that.
The confidence of the leaders who were on the stage.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. And
as well, I was like, wow, I like that. I want to do that one day. I want to be able to have my confidence and be able to talk to people.
I love that. I love that you knew what you wanted and you were ready to roll up your sleeves and say, I'm going to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about 10 months in, working together in the inner circle. And at the time of this recording right now, if you're listening to this episode when it goes live, we are 3 months into this global pandemic. The country essentially went into lockdown March 16th. That's when New York closed all of its schools, and many different states all across America closed their schools and across the world. And I know that there are tons and tons of webinar and content and free trainings out there telling people what to do now, how to reopen, how to build trust with teams. But one of the things that are unique about you, Valerie, is you have been doing the work for the last 10 months, laying the groundwork for literally preparing you for this time. So what have you done prior to March that allowed you, and we'll go into just how you're riding out this storm right now, but what's some of the groundwork that you've done pre-COVID?
Well, I did a lot of the teacher appreciation. That was a big hit. Just showing my teachers that I'm there for them. I'm acknowledging their hard work. What else?
And that's a part of our gratitude matrix, which is
yes.
a training inside of the inner circle. And teacher appreciation, which I'm sure you saw, is not just about the $5 gift cards. We have a whole system for how we lay out gratitude. So the fact that you've done that has laid a very solid foundation for you.
Also, the one-on-ones really got me to get to know each teacher and what they, everybody's personality is different. So I knew how to customize myself to deal with that individual teacher with the one-on-ones.
I think that's really interesting because I want to go down this road for 1 minute here in that, and this is where like powerful leaders step up in knowing that every teacher is different. Every staff member is different. Every person on your admin team is different. And so generic rules and generic kind of let's all motivate them by giving everyone manicures now, that doesn't work. That doesn't build this real nuclear kind of feel, this, my words are all, I wanted to say nuclear family, like just the nucleus, but we said that, that's fine. But really creating this warm feeling where people feel this trust. It's a different approach through a very systematic approach to gratitude, which you've implemented, and the one-on-ones, like, what do you need? There's a one-on-one system. So prior to doing one-on-ones, now that you're doing them, is it something that you're like, when I have time, I do it? Or is it like, no, this is a priority?
No, it's a priority. We have them scheduled. Every teacher has their time with me. And for them, they feel that's a big reward for them, to spend time with the director. They feel like, wow, I'm going to have my 15 minutes, 20 minutes with the director. So
that's how you build that connection, right? Through one-on-one.
Yes.
Think about it from the parent-child model. A child can only feel that connection and that love when they do get some quality time with the parent in different
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, you've really, really developed in your skill set. And so tell us a little bit about right now during this time. Did your school close? Did you reopen? Did you stay open the whole time? Talk to me a little bit about how you have specifically been riding out this season.
Well, for me, having my culture already in place, so we were ready. We felt we were ready. We never closed. We were fortunate. We were one of the fortunate ones that we were able to stay open. But there was lots of change. It was scary. It was uncertainty. We didn't know how many kids we were going to lose. We didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So, it was very important to me to stay close to my parents. We developed a real partnership with each other, as well with my staff, just kept them positive. And that's basically what I did. I just stayed close in contact with my parents. We made personal phone calls to them, see how they're doing. And I think that was a big part of how our enrollment stayed intact, because we stayed so close to each other.
Yeah, so you kept your enrollment close to 90%, which if you think of the industry average that's happening right now, most schools are operating at 20 to 30%, which is, again, there are other factors to it in just where you live and all of that kind of stuff. But there is a lot indicative of what you actually did to keep it that way. But going back to the uncertainty piece, many leaders became paralyzed with the uncertainty, became paralyzed with what's going to be with the finances, what's going to be with this, what's going to be with that, what's going to happen here, what's going to happen here, and they're hiding. So many leaders are, and they don't realize they're hiding. They think they're showing up, but they are hiding. And what allowed you with you, so your personality is not like, okay, I'm going to get out here, I'm going to get on the stage, I'm going to talk, I'm going to speak. Like, you are more on the other side, but you still didn't hide. Why?
No, I didn't.
What pushed you to get up?
Because I had to step up. And I'm not like that, but I had to. My staff were scared too. They thought that we were gonna, people were losing jobs. So I had to be the director. So what I did was, I remember seeing Todd. And so what I did
Todd
is
Herman sorry, I'll just interject for a second. Todd Herman did the keynote at the Summit of Excellence in 2019 in New York. And he spoke all about how to unlock your heroic self, you have the power to choose how you want to show up. So yes, now can continue. I just want to give context.
So that's exactly what I did. So, everybody has their little, what do you call it, your ego little symbol. So mine was my pillars tag. So every day I would put it on in the morning. I would do my meditation, walk in and say, okay, I'm here. I'm stepping up. I'm going to be the leader today. So, and I was there to hold my, I was there to do the confidence for my staff. I was there to just step it up, even for my parents as well.
What were the characteristics that when you put on the pillars tag, essentially as your totem, what were the characteristics that you said, this is the Valerie that needs to show up at school?
Confidence. That was the main thing, because I feel like I lack and I still need a lot of help in public speaking, but I put that away for my staff, and it worked. I mean,
Oh yeah,
confidence.
It helps you maintain the culture, keep the morale high, keep enrollment at 90%. Like, this is what's so powerful about knowledge, and about when we know better, we do better. Like, the fact that you were at the summit, you heard that keynote, you understood how to implement it, you created your totem of the pillars tag. This is the Valerie that shows up when she enters this school building every single morning. This is what the people need from me, because I'm the leader and I'm expected to show up in a certain way. And this is how I'm going to choose to show up. That doesn't mean that's how you showed up at home or in your personal life or whatever it is. This is how you showed up on this specific platform that was needed from you. So kudos to listening to something, absorbing it, and implementing it in the moments that you needed it most. Like, I think that's so admirable.
Yeah, because I mean, when I went home for the day, I was a totally different person. I was exhausted, mentally exhausted. I cried. I let it out at home. I didn't want anybody to see me. But the next morning, I walked in again with my confidence boost, but it was hard. But
it is. And I'm so right there with you. Like, we have the price of admission for leadership is knowing how to be intentional about the field, like Todd used the word, the field of play that you're stepping on. And you knew those doors create the new field. And the moment I walk in through those doors, this is the person that has to show up. So it's so simple, so powerful. So tell us a little bit about, besides for the confidence that you've poured into yourself, which is so powerful, and not to say, besides for that, how have you really evolved as a leader over the course of this year, and working with the community of other directors, with working with myself, on support calls, with the training? How do you feel you've really evolved over this time?
More organized with, all the schedules that you implemented. Being able to be more assertive. I had a lot of problems with time management, and you taught me that it's okay to say no, or I'm sorry, I don't have time right now, but I will make time for you. That was a big thing too. I was a pushover, sort of say, and I just let everybody walk into my office, so I never got anything done. But you gave me the boost that I needed to say it's no, and it's okay to say no.
Yeah. And what's beautiful about what you're saying here, Valerie, looping back to what you started with, is putting up those boundaries made you a better leader.
Yes.
Because then you delivered with kindness, with excellence. It didn't push your staff away, which is what most people fear. If I put up the boundary, everyone will run. If I hold people accountable, they'll leave. That's not the case that happened with you. So as you started to hold your team more accountable, what was the effect of that? Did people start leaving and saying, I'm out, I quit? Like, what happened as a result of starting to hold your team more accountable?
I believe because of the kind of director I am, and like me doing my one-on-ones and spending time with them, they understood. They knew that I needed my time so I can do for them. I mean, everything I do is for them and to make them. So they understood that, and they respected why I was doing it.
Yeah. The other piece I want to highlight here for everyone that's listening is culture is not a project. Time management is not a task on your to-do list. It's not like, oh, today I'm going to become better at time management. Today I'm going to become better at relationships. Tasks on our to-do list are like, today I'm going to do the laundry. And at the end of the day, the laundry will be done. Today, I'm going to fold underwear. And at the end of this hour, the underwear will be folded. Being a leader is not, today I'm doing this. It's the discipline. It's the habits that Valerie has implemented is, I am a person who does one-on-one meetings and builds relationships with teachers. Because if Valerie does one-on-ones once, it does nothing. It does nothing. It doesn't do anything for the culture. It's the compounded effect of her doing it consistently. If Valerie puts up the boundary and says, no, right now you can't come in, come back at 11, and she does it once, guess what that does? Valerie's the capital B. But if she does that consistently and shows her team she's available, Valerie's the hero. She's here for me. So that's such an important distinction to understand is it's the discipline and the compounded effect of doing these small things that make you the leader you want to be. So I have two more quick questions for you. What do you think is possible now that you never thought was possible before we met and before, you know, our lives crossed paths?
For me to I don't even know where to start. Sorry,
That's okay. It's real talk.
like I definitely have the confidence now to go into a center and for me to, because I've been asked by, you know, Melissa, one of the owners, to go see if I can help and help mentor other directors because of how well I've been doing by following your advice and everything. So, and that's an honor for me to be asked because I would never have thought that they would ask me, Valerie, the very conservative, quiet one, to, hey, whatever you're doing, it's working. So I need you to help fix the other centers. And it's all accredited to, you know, watching your modules and all your videos and just following through, you know. So that's what I've never thought that I could do before. But now, I mean, I'm being asked to do all these things and I'm just like, I'm wowed.
Yeah. And you're stepping up to the plate for it, right? So
Correct.
before, a year ago, it never even crossed your mind that you would even want to do something like that. And that's what's so beautiful about implementing and doing the work is we get to start dreaming bigger dreams for ourselves. We get to start seeing that there's so much more to us than what we ever thought. That we're so much more capable than we ever imagined. And we can be leaders that we never thought that things that we never thought were ever possible. So I appreciate you sharing that. And the real kudos and honor go to you because you are the hero in this story, right? Our training and our product is the guide in giving you the training, but ultimately you have to implement it. So always make sure that you give yourself that credit because ultimately it belongs in your lap. So congrats on that. So
Thank you.
yeah. So, and I'm looking forward to hearing how the mentorship works and how you start to step up into being a leader of leaders. So this podcast is Schools of Excellence. You know, we're on a mission to build schools of excellence. And I think there's many different definitions. I have my own. And so for you in being part of this community in this world, what does a school of excellence mean to you?
Sorry, Connie, I just blank out when I get splints. Is just being, and I know that we shouldn't be perfect, but perfect at everything, like my culture, my enrollment, my parents, like, and my thing, I kept my teachers happy, so they kept the kids happy, so the parents are happy, and my enrollment grew, so now we're all happy. It's like the ripple effect, like you call it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's my school of excellence. If everything falls into place how it should, that's my school of excellence, and I have achieved that with everything that I've been implementing at my school.
Yeah, and I think what's so beautiful is when we reach that milestone of how we define the School of Excellence, like with the ripple effect and how this happens, that happens, and each thing ripples out to the other. You are already in that next stage where now you're being called upon to do that for other people. And so what's so beautiful is when we reach that milestone, now it's dream bigger dreams, create bigger goals, like think even bigger and bolder and better and broader, because now you have the capacity for that.
And I have been. I mean, now, you know, the pillars, we have about to have 5 locations and we're still growing. So yes, and it's very exciting. So now I picture myself, wow, you know, I can, I would never think that I could be that person to lead, you know, like that. And now I can.
Yeah. And that gives the personal satisfaction to you. And that's how you stay in the company, because you're growing as a person and you're seeing how you're growing. And by you doing that, that ripples into the teachers, because now you can help teachers find their own personal calling, their own personal motivation. And that's where retention stays at its highest, because you're helping people find their purpose and their voice through the work that they're doing, through caring for our children, through caring for everyone. Valerie, it is always a pleasure connecting with you. It's always fun to, you know, I know we riff a lot on Messenger and stuff like that, but this is just really special for me to get to speak with you. So thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe using the bell so that you get notifications when we release videos twice a week.